Okay, let's be honest for a second. When you picture a biblical leader, a judge, a general, a prophet, what do you see? Chances are you're picturing a man. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful leaders in the Old Testament, who held all of those titles at the same time, was actually a woman? Yeah, today we're going to uncover her incredible story.
So yeah, let's just get right to it. In a world totally dominated by men, who was this one single female figure who managed to rise up and become, well, the most powerful person in the entire land?
But to really understand just how extraordinary this woman was, we've got to step back in time a bit. We need to get a feel for the world she lived in. This was what's known as the Age of Judges, a really volatile time for ancient Israel. See, this was before they had kings, so leadership wasn't inherited, it was forged in crisis.
Now, I know when we hear the word judge, our minds probably jump to someone in a black robe with a little wooden gavel, right? But that's not at all what a biblical judge or a shofet was. No way. These were figures of immense power. Seriously, think of them as a president, a five-star general, and a Supreme Court justice, all rolled into one person. That's the kind of power we're talking about.
Just let that sink in for a second. This one person was the military commander, the chief executive, the final word in court, and a spiritual guide. Being a judge wasn't just a job, It meant you were the absolute center of national life. Everything revolved around you. And that is the position at the heart of our story today. All right, so now that we know just how huge this role was, we can finally answer the big question. Who was the woman who held this incredible title of judge? So if you look at the book of Judges in the Bible, it tells the stories of 12 of these leaders in total. And each one was basically a hero who stepped up to save their people from everything. Invasion, oppression, even collapsing from the inside. And out of all 12 of those powerful figures, only one was a woman. Her name was Deborah. And listen, she wasn't just some token leader they threw in there. No, she was the leader, recognized by all the tribes for her incredible wisdom and authority. This single line from the text, it just tells us so much, doesn't it? People didn't question her. They didn't push back. They actively went out and sought her judgment. I mean, just picture it. People from all over traveling to see her, under a palm tree of all places. It paints a picture of a leader who wasn't just powerful, but also respected, accessible, and the final word on what was right. But Deborah's leadership wasn't just about settling disputes in peacetime. Not even close. Her real defining moment, the story she's most famous for, came when she had to act as commander-in-chief during a brutal, high-stakes war. So here's the situation. The campaign is against a fearsome Canaanite general named Sisera, and it's a huge gamble. First, Deborah gets a divine message. It's time to go to war. So what does she do? She calls up her top general, a guy named Barak. But here's the twist. He's scared. He actually refuses to go into battle unless she, the judge, goes with him. And she says okay. She agrees to go, and her very presence on the battlefield turns into the key that unlocks this legendary, decisive victory. I mean, this moment reveals everything, doesn't it? You have Barak, this seasoned military general, and he's hesitant. He's cautious. He needs her there almost like a security blanket. But then you have Deborah. She is decisive. She's confident. She's not just passing along a message from on high. She is the source of the strategy. She didn't just give the orders. She was the mission. So after leading her people through all of this, in peace and in war, what is the lasting legacy of this truly remarkable woman? I mean, why does her story still matter so much today? When you really boil it down, her legacy comes down to one simple, incredibly powerful number. One. Just one. Among all the recognized judges of Israel, she stands completely and utterly alone. I mean, she just shatters any simple box you try to put her in. Was she a prophetess? Yep. The highest judge in the land? Absolutely. A brilliant military strategist? For sure. And ultimately, she was a national hero whose leadership led to 40 years of peace. Her story just proves, beyond a doubt, that it was her incredible ability, not her gender, that made her the exact leader her people needed at that exact moment. And that, I think, is the real power of her legacy. Deborah's story has been right there this whole time, basically hiding in plain sight. It's this extraordinary example of what leadership can look like, even against all the odds. And it kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? How many other incredible stories just like this are sitting there, waiting in our history books, ready to be rediscovered?